Hey, it's Jeff Sauer here, representing the Jumpstart Podcast, and I want to give you a preview of what we're going to talk about in our next episode. This episode, I'm going to talk about how to maximize your time networking at conferences. Now, I'm recording both this video and this podcast, in between two conferences that I'm attending, and really, as part of my 90-day challenge, I have a lot of work on my plate, a lot of things to do, and I want to make sure that I'm using my time effectively. And so when I go to a conference, it's not just about learning from the presentations, it's actually about using my time to get the most out of these relationships that I build and to form connections that can benefit both them and me over the course of the long haul. And so I actually don't really listen to most of the presentations at conferences. A lot of times I'm giving them myself and I'm getting ready for my own presentation, or I might have nerves, or I'm just busy, or I'm answering emails. But I do get a lot of value of networking, meeting people in the hallways, forming friendships, talking about life, philosophy, asking those questions that you never get to ask online or you're afraid to ask online. It's a lot easier to ask somebody those questions in person. And I'm not talking about personal questions necessarily. I'm talking about questions about the way that we do business, about the technologies we use, about the inside scoop as to when a technology is coming out or when a technology might go away, people's prognosis on things that people would never tell you online, things you would never read in an email or an article, things that are off the record. The off the record conversations are my favorite part of networking, and that's why I go to conferences. In addition to the thrill of being on stage, as an attendee, my biggest accomplishment is when I get some kind of information that I didn't have going into it, and when I get a refocused energy to move forward because of that information and because of the relationships that I gather. So that's what I'm talking about on this week's podcast. You are not going to want to miss these networking tips that I give in this episode.